On this December 18th, 2020. Guys, where has the year gone? Holy moly. Wow. It's been a quick one, even with everything going on in the world. Crazy how time just kind of flies. But again, I'm Chris Anderson, the host of Pencil Leadership, also CEO and founder of Pencil Leadership, where we help online entrepreneurs get clear on their goals, their direction, increase their performance so they can get more results. Also, we launch and produce podcasts. So if that's something in your future, something you're looking to get done or need help with, feel free to reach out. Pencilleadership.com. You can schedule a call. We can talk about all that. We can give you some direction for free. So, well, it's Friday, guys. And I hope you've had a great week. I hope you have accomplished your goals for the week. I hope you've gotten a lot done. We're going to dive into one of my favorite stories. So you're going to want to listen in, tune into this. If you're watching live, great. Say hello. Let me see you out there. If you're watching this on replay, just post that in the chat as well. If you have any questions, comments, I'll try to do my best to see them and get to them during this. But we're going to be talking about just leaving our positive mark on the world. I mean, Pencil Leadership, the fifth trait is that we're all created uniquely with a purpose to leave a positive mark on the world. And sometimes it's hard for us to see that potential, see that, and see that we're actually making a difference because of wherever we are in life. And so this story kind of resonates with that, kind of connects with that. Hey, thanks for tuning in. But we are talking about the story of the boy and the starfish. So if you've heard this story, great. If not, you're in for a treat. Again, it's one of my favorites. Just talking about how no matter where we're at in life, we can make a difference. And so the story goes is there's an old man who's walking down this beach, and he does this quite regularly. Excuse me. But he spots a young boy kind of like bent over, crouched down by the water, and he's like picking something up off the beach and throwing it back into the ocean. And so usually there's no one on the beach when this old gentleman is walking. And so he kind of just stops and watches what this younger boy is doing. And the young boy just keeps doing that. He keeps kind of walking a couple steps and bending over, squatting down, picking something up and throwing it. And he continues this as the old man's watching. And so eventually the old man goes up to him and says, "Hey, what are you doing, man? Kid, what are you doing?" And so the younger boy says, "I'm saving these starfish that are stranded on the beach. They can't get back in the water." He said, "If they stay on the beach, they're gonna die. They're gonna dry out. So I'm gonna do what I can by putting them back in the ocean so they can live." And that's just kind of an astounding thought, like that this young boy would think of these starfish that are dying and want to make a difference for one. But the old man was silent for a few seconds, and he thought, and then he said to the boy, like, "Yes, but this section of the beach, there's like hundreds and thousands of starfish on the beach. And around the bend, there must be even more. And this beach will continue to go on for miles with that same problem, starfish stuck on the beach." He said, "I've walked this section of the beach for 10 years every day, and it's always the same, starfish everywhere." And he said, "There must be millions of stranded starfish. I hate to say it, but you'll never make a difference." How many times have you had that in your life where you've been trying to create something new, do something new, learn something new, attempt something outside your comfort zone, and you have people come up to you and say, "What in the world are you doing? Why are you doing that? You're never going to accomplish that. You're never going to make a difference. Good luck." Isn't that just, man, that gets me kind of pissed off, to be honest, because we do have so much great potential in us and we can make a difference. And those naysayers, sometimes they come from a position of caring. They want to protect us because they don't want us to get hurt or embarrassed or have us fail because of their mindset and where they've come from. But it really holds us back. And so think about that. You're the little boy on this beach or little girl throwing these starfish back. And you've got this old man saying, hey, what? You're not going to make a dent. You're not going to make any impact. And the boy, continuing back to the story, the boy said, well, I just made a difference for that one. And he continued his work. What a response, right? I just made a difference in that one. He understood the task that was in front of him seemed gargantuan, seemed really insurmountable. But he knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to help all the starfish. He wanted to help as many starfish as he could. But he saw that next one. He was focused on that next thing, that next starfish. And hey, to that one, I made a difference. I saved that starfish's life, is what he said. And so in our lives, when we're starting a new endeavor, when we're starting a new online business, when we're starting a podcast, there are going to be ups and downs. There are going to be times where it's like, man, like, what else do I need to do? Like, what else has to happen? Am I really making a difference? No one's going to want to hear me. I'm not going to make any difference because I'm not whoever, Joe Rogan. I'm not at this high level. I'm not Brendan Burchard. I'm not Lewis Howes. Like, man, I've been there. I've had that. And it's like, no, where I'm at right now, the client, the listener who listened in, who tuned in, who got my advice, who I guided, I've made a difference in that one. And that's what we got to remember. It's part of the journey. And as we grow and as we improve and as we are persistent, we're going to be able to impact more and more. And so what small things are you doing today that are going to make an impact, that are going to make a difference? And that's all we got to do. We got to continue to see that next starfish, pick it up and throw it back into the sea. Say, hey, yeah, but I just made a difference in that one. And guess what? As you continue to do that, word spreads. You grow. Your business improves. Your podcast reaches more people. And then guess what? In the story, it could be, well, hey, people start hearing about this little boy, what he's doing. And guess what? He gets a whole bunch of people now coming down to this beach and helping him. And they're able to help even more people. So it's not about doing it alone. It's about starting it alone if you have to, and seeing the small wins, the small impacts that you're having, just like the little boy, one starfish at a time. And knowing he might not be able to save all the starfish, but he's going to do his darndest, despite what the old man says, because the old man sees an insurmountable task ahead, right? Something that doesn't seem like it could get done. But this little boy, one starfish at a time, he's making an impact. So I challenge you today, see things that way. See whatever you're working on, whatever you're trying to accomplish, as there's millions of starfish you're trying to help. You're trying to reach. You're trying to get to. Where's your next starfish at? What one can you make a difference in today? One at a time. And as you do that, things will grow. And things will get a little bit easier. And then you'll have new challenges. But you have so much potential and you can make a positive impact. So don't let people come along on your beach while you're trying to make a difference and tell you otherwise. Don't let their negativity drag you down or make you stop. Because that little boy could have stopped when that old man said that and said, oh, you're right. You're right. There's too many of them. I'm just going to go now. But guess what? That next starfish wouldn't make it. And so think about it that way. We have an obligation. We have a duty to keep going in our potential and make that difference. Even it's just one at a time. So how are you going to do that today? How are you going to do that this weekend? Are you going to kind of ease off, or are you going to continue to improve, to make an impact? It's what separates successful people from the average person, unfortunately. If we want to be successful, we want to get certain levels in business or in our podcast, like you have to sacrifice some for a handful of years before things get to the point where you don't have to sacrifice as much because you've grown something. So are you willing to take those sacrifices? The little boy took time and took energy to throw one starfish back in at a time. And so be like the little boy today, this weekend, the weeks to come, ending 2020. Don't give up. Don't give up, because you can make impact one little thing at a time, and it'll add it up. Continue to live into your potential and start seeing the growth, seeing the positive things, being grateful for what you are doing. And remember the story of the boy and the starfish and how he kind of smiled at the old man and said, man, but hey, I just made a difference in that one's life. Because if everything we did had to have a huge, big, right now impact before you even gave it your time, you're not going to do a whole lot. So you just have to kind of do the small things. And like I said, they compound, and it'll ripple out. And so do the small things that'll start compounding into bigger results. And then you'll be able to have a bigger impact, a bigger mark left on the world if we start where we are now with the small things. Because if we don't do the small things, if we don't make an impact in the small ways, then how can we be trusted? How can we be given those big opportunities to make a difference if we won't even do the small ones to start? So think about that today. I hope you enjoyed the story of the boy and the starfish. It's one of my favorites. It's a great reminder to me when things start getting rough or things aren't going the way I want it to, because we can make an impact no matter what. And so, guys, if you like this, share it, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss out on other episodes that come out in the future, and try to make a difference today. Go out, be a pencil leader, and make